Phil Reeson, Mary Nichols. KUTV2 News at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. It first brought international attention to the state of Utah, followed by widespread scorn. And now cold fusion is getting new and favorable attention.
Well, the attention is coming in the form of stories in national magazines and the launch this month of an entirely new magazine devoted to the subject exclusively. KUTV's Larry Warren has been looking into this renewed interest in a much maligned field. What's triggering this new look at cold fusion?
Well, Mary, it's not any one thing, but take a look at this magazine cover. Technology Review is affiliated with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and it says right here on the cover, cold fusion heats up.
Basically, we've established a sustained nuclear fusion reaction.
University of Utah chemists Stanley Pons and Martin Fleischmann stunned the scientific world with their discovery of cold fusion. It simultaneously hit the covers of Time and Newsweek. The Utah legislature agreed to spend $5 million funding the Cold Fusion Institute. But as researchers elsewhere and at the Fusion Institute failed to reproduce the Pons and Fleischmann claims, cold fusion and Utah became the butt of jokes. This article was written by chemist Edmund Storms. At his Santa Fe home, he told KUTV News cold fusion critics are dwindling.
Pons and Fleischmann only saw the tip of the iceberg, and we're only seeing maybe little pieces of the iceberg. The big part of the iceberg is still invisible, but yet there is an iceberg there.
Dr. Storms is also turning up here on the cover of the first ever issue of Cold Fusion, a monthly devoted exclusively to reporting progress in the field pioneered by Pons and Fleischmann.
And there are programs now going on in Japan, a big program in Japan, in India, and Italy. There's a growing program in China and in Russia. So this work is going on all over the world, and they started it.
Not everyone in Utah has given up on cold fusion. This technology company, ENECO, has been quietly traveling the world, buying the research work of others and acquiring the university's patent applications to Pons and Fleischmann's work.
Well, we essentially would like to be at the right place at the right time.
Jaeger's company has invested several $1 million in the belief cold fusion is real, but that it won't be Americans who make the crucial breakthroughs.
I think ultimately it'll happen, it'll come from abroad. The results of the spending and the activities abroad will suddenly wash back here, and then people will try to play catch up.
So cold fusion is alive, just not in Utah. And these magazines are stirring the pot, trying to convince readers that while it's still not understood, it is real.
Well, it's not alive very much here in Utah. Are some scientists still skittish because of the negative publicity it got?
It got such a violent outcry of people saying this just can't be that it still scares off a lot of scientists who otherwise might be interested. It hasn't really been published much in technical journals. That's one of the reasons this new magazine, Cold Fusion, is out this month.
And where are Pons and Fleischmann in all of this?
Well, in the meantime, they're still working, just not in Utah. They're in France. And they're not working for France, they're working for Japan. Japan is financing their research in a French laboratory.
We'll hear a lot more from them, probably.
No doubt.
Okay, thanks, Larry.
Well, wedding